Well, still on the situation in Sudan, the military's arrest of the Prime Minister and several other ministers is the biggest obstacle to the country's two-year transition. This is according to Jonas Horner, a senior analyst at the International Crisis Group.
This morning, Monday, 25th October, saw the arrest by military actors of the Prime Minister and several other ministers from the hybrid civilian military transitional government in Sudan. This comes on the back of a cascade of events that began really with another coup attempt about almost a month ago. This is certainly the biggest hiccup in the Sudan's two-year transition, certainly the biggest obstacle to fulfillment of the sort of outcome that was laid out in the country's constitutional declaration and then reinforced by the 2020 Juba peace agreement that brought in armed groups from the peripheries. The idea within both those documents was to see Sudan move from an autocracy to an inclusive democracy. This kind of intervention, though, really adjusts that schedule and really puts autocracy back on the menu and, sees the military attempting to really seize control of this transition in what is just an incredibly existential moment for both sides. That's why it has happened now, because there's a concern that we are at an inflection point as potential elections hove into view, and as threats to the military seemed to become a little bit more clear. So far, the international community from the Western side of the ledger, who had been broadly in favor of fulfillment of this transition, they have come out against the way the military has acted and arrested the PM and ministers. This has to be seen, I think, in the context, though, of the last week or so, when you've had envoys from the UK and US coming in to speak with the key figures of the military to really warn them against such a move, because it had seemed increasingly on the cards, and those approaches were there was obviously little receptiveness to those approaches, and I think a lot of that is wrapped up in the way that the military has been empowered by other states in the region. It's happening now, I think, because the military have felt, increasing pressure from civilians in government who have tried to, highlight the prospects of justice the military might face for crimes both during the era of Bashir and even since, during the revolution. There are concerns, the military has concerns that it may lose control of lucrative military companies that are absolutely key to the economy and are some of the most lucrative components of that economy.